it right under our noses. We don't find out till we're on IG scrolling. We post a few memes, but then it keeps on happening. Something's gotta change, we gotta start talking and telling the truth without the fear of judgment. Gotta come together and really start loving. And
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
here's what you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually like, you do want it to work. So right. You're gonna hope and encourage the relationship between your child and that person because you like that person, you know, so you're gonna hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work and you can't make it work. You can't force it. It's like a branch. You keep bending it. Eventually it'll snap, and even if you put it back together, it'll never be what it once was. But you definitely pray on it. You hope for the best, you know, because like nobody wants to spend the rest of their life alone just because that a particular relationship didn't work out, but you had this beautiful creature as a result of it, you know. But you don't want to necessarily spend and you're not all of a sudden a bad person. You're not all of a sudden not going to fulfill this other person's needs.
You, madam, are a harlot and a scoundrel.
Because I had one kid while I was still married. Like,
but what if you?
I take that back.
What if the situation turns around the other way? So you ready for your child to meet? They meet the person, and this person is a giver. So this person's buying your child lots of gifts and wanting to.
I would usually.
Stop.
Do you
right
let
them?
You don't like if it's a birthday or some sort of holiday or something like that. Okay, and they want to get them a few things or get them something. Okay, but just on like a regular basis, like unless it's like Nestle's Quick or something that you can get from like, you know what I'm saying, or like Kit Kats or something like that. Like, no, don't spend a lot of money on.
See, I'm sorry.
Check out this snippet from the new season of Talk Lately with Monty about Jennifer Holliday.
Anyway, let's get back to
Yeah, well, what I wanted to say is that I can understand 100% where Jennifer Holliday is coming from, and that's sort of kind of where my 20% came from. When I basically came out and said who I voted for, I received a lot of backlash. Even on my own talk show, which comes on every Monday from 5 to 7 p.m., I was called a coon. Okay, yeah, shout out for the plug. But yeah, someone actually, they told CJ Bernie that I was a coon, and that really hurt me. I've been called everything from a fat whatever and everything, but someone actually commented on his Facebook
I didn't even say that. That's kind of
called me a coon, but it's
coon?
It's crazy because I just feel like someone like Jennifer Holliday. I understand why she stepped down, but I'm kind of upset with her because I think she still should have performed. If you're going to jump out there, then stand in your truth. Don't let no one stop you or change your mind about anything. And listen, no one put a gun to her head and made her sign on for that. But it just seems like she was basically bullied.
But see, the thing about it is they will put a gun to her head to not do it.
I don't think so.
Well, that's what the threat says. You gotta say it's why it's called a threat. You don't know the hypotheticals in there that could happen to you.
Why do you think
she's not a well-known singer, so she's not going around with security. Since she goes to get her tracks at the mall,
right?
Pow!
Right, but at the same time,
we got a whole bunch of dead cats.
Yeah, but like what she said in the footage, today on The View was basically it's not white people who was threatening her. It was us who was threatening her.
Right. Where do you think she live? I think she live in Atlanta.
Exactly.
They gonna get her at the Ku Klux Klan mall and drag her by her hair. Her hair made a cat. She got the new weave.
I don't have Jennifer Holliday money, honey. I don't know what it might be because it's. I don't got Jennifer Holliday money, but me personally, I feel as though like I said, once I kind of.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
That's some Woody and all them, but that's what Woody and them is all out there.
I think he said we're on.
We on? We live?
Yep.
You ready to rock?
Yeah, we good.
We good? All right, let's do this. So, what's up, family? Welcome to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show with your boy, Brother Mike, along with my partners in consciousness. I got my co-host, the lovely Miss Janice. How you doing today, Miss Janice?
Very good.
And we brought some of our team members back with us today. So, welcome back, Mr. Derek Woodson.
Well, it's good to be back.
It's good to be back, right? And of course, our awesome team member, Miss Samantha Glam by Sam.
Hi.
Dennis. How you doing, Miss Dennis?
I feel so glad to be back.
You feel good to be back? All right, well, welcome back.
I missed you.
Welcome back, and I thank both of you guys for rocking your BBD today. Mr. Woodson has on a classic black BBD tee that you can get from blackbottomman.com, as well as Miss Samantha Dennis here has on our new breast cancer awareness for ladies V-neck tee, and a portion of the proceeds are donated to a family that's affected by cancer. So thank you for wearing those today. And we apologize to everybody. We're getting off to a late start, but things happen. Hang out with us. We're gonna have an awesome show. So real quick, let's try to dip into some current events real quick. So what we got popping in current events? Usually we let Miss Janice handle this, but since we got our guests with us today, we're gonna put them on the spot a little bit and let them talk a little bit about current events. So do either one of you beautiful people have any current events you would like to discuss?
I do.
Let's do this.
Okay, so let's talk about the Netflix special When They See Us. Based off the Central Park Five. So it's a big thing. It's causing a lot of uproar.
I've heard it's
in the black community.
right, causing a little something.
I have yet to watch it. I'm kind of torn if I'm going to watch it or not, since it's been such a strong reaction to it.
Right.
I don't know if anybody else here has watched it or.
I have not. I personally have not watched it.
I looked over it for a second.
Yeah.
And bypassed it.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah, I heard it's not an easy watch.
Yeah.
I heard the exact same thing.
How they putting it on now? I remember a couple of years ago, I watched it was before They See Us. It's called the Central Park Five. How they were arrested, how they were basically held into the rooms with the police for several hours, basically being forced into taking these charges. So
and they're all minors, right?
Yeah.
Right. This is America.
Yeah, definitely.
But the prosecutor, Linda, I think her name, Linda Bartenstein, she's losing a lot of her I guess, endorsements.
I did see that she lost like her publishing deal.
Yep,
or something
she
like
should.
That. All right.
A round of applause for that one.
She should.
What else? And we can also talk about the Dominican Republic, how there's been so many deaths.
Yeah, something going on in the Dominican Republic. Shout out to my executive producer on the station, Mr. Monty. Monty, I hope you're okay, man. That means some crazy stuff going on in the DR. But yeah, I heard about that.
There was even a couple from Maryland that passed.
Right.
I've seen that.
I saw an article yesterday where a woman who had visited the Dominican Republic said that in the mini bar, when she opened up, I think it was water, and it tasted like bleach. So it's been a couple different cases of that. So I don't know like what's going on with that, but a lot of people have been dying, and there's like a travel ban or advisory for Americans that are traveling to the Dominican Republic.
See, I find that interesting because the Dominican Republic, in my opinion, in the recent couple years has become very popular amongst us. Like a lot of people are saying we're going to the DR. So it's interesting to me that with this popularity, now all of a sudden we have these people, you know, getting sick, so forth and so on. It just sounds like it's a puppet master at play here that's, you know, maybe changing some things. So yeah, interesting. Anything else?
Like I said, a bunch of people probably, this young comedian, now I'm not saying young, he was in his early 30s, you know, where he was basically killed for, I just found this morning that was for a joke.
Oh yeah, the young brother on Facebook.
Yeah, he was killed for a joke, and I kind of think it's crazy because out here in the city, man, a lot of people, the innocent are getting killed off of the smallest stuff, but the people that are hurting us the most, nothing's happening.
Right,
I understand that one.
We don't tend to do anything to people who really inflict harm on our community, but we have a very low tolerance for each other. So of course, we're willing to kill each other at the drop of a dime, even behind a joke.
Yes.
So very sad, very, very sad.
Speaking of things that are happening to us, y'all heard about the Cleveland jail crisis? Did y'all see the videos that's coming up now?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
As far as the Cleveland jail crisis with the police officers beating up the mentally ill man after he was strapped to the chair, and they had a spit guard on his mouth. And they was in there punching him, and then left him sitting there bleeding for 2 hours before anybody did anything.
That right there, that probably is crazy. But see, go ahead.
Then of course there were people dying on the floor from drug overdose, and they just watch them. Nobody did anything.
Yeah, they just don't care about us.
Then
so many people in this world that don't care about us.
All the unexplained deaths that are happening in Cleveland jail.
Yeah, all we can do is pray for these people, you know, and pray that the Most High God has mercy on them and gives them some type of protection against the evil doers. Bringing evil against them. Anything else?
Trying to do something that we can be proud of. Let's give a shout out to Sydney Wilson of Atlanta, Georgia. She's 14 years old, and she will be the youngest student at Spelman College this coming fall.
Shout out to her.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So we can be happy about that one.
She's a breath of fresh air today.
And also from Atlanta, Georgia, Ashley Roxanne Peterson. She is going to be the youngest black osteopathic doctor ever.
Nice.
We can
end on a good note. Very nice. Way to recover.
Right. We need something to smile about.
We do. So.
Okay, then we have Susan Bennett from North Carolina. She owned a barber shop. She found out 14 kids wasn't going to be able to graduate because they owed dues.
Okay.
So she raised the money to get that paid.
Group economics at its finest.
So now they will get diplomas with their class.
Nice, very nice. We're taking care of each other.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So I'm always excited to hear that. Is that it for current events?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to bring another
cloud on. Move on. No more clouds.
It's already raining outside.
Notes, right?
Yeah.
All right. So again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today. And as you can see, we have a full house along with our other BBD team members. So today's show is going to be another exciting episode of Constructive or Destructive, which is one of the segments we like to do at least once a month. So we want to go ahead and get into this, man. Constructive or destructive. So let's just jump into this and get our feet wet. All right, constructive or destructive. Normally we do 3, 4, 5 of these.
Yes.
Today we're just going to do a couple of them. you know, which is perfect because we kind of started a little bit late. But first up to the plate is creating a budget for your dollars. You know, creating a budget, constructive or destructive. But before we answer, before anyone gives an answer, let's go over a few things. So let's talk. You know what? I'm not going to do the pros first. I'm going to do the cons first because I want it ending on a good note. Okay. So let's talk about the cons of creating a budget. Con number one, unexpected expenses. As life is full of emergencies and unexpected occurrences, you never know when, if something is going to go wrong. Okay, so they're saying that's a con.
Yes.
You know, that if you have a budget, you're not going to necessarily be prepared for unexpected expenses. How do we feel about that? Is that a valid con, or is that just life?
I think it is a valid con, but I feel like if you're making a budget, then you budget for the unexpected.
You know what? That is very
Damn,
good. She just got back. She got a bell. Nice. That was a very valid point. So part of your budget should be planning for the unexpected. Okay. All right. I like that. You counted that well. Moving on. The next con was you might overcompensate in some areas and not have sufficient funds for other payments you need to make. So your budget can cause you to be short on other payments?
Yes.
That's what they're saying. Is that a real con, or what we talking about here?
It's a real con. You know, a budget for me, constructive or destructive, is, you know, destructive.
So you already feel destructive. So we got one that's already like a budget destructive. What do you think, Mr. Woodson? You might overcompensate in some areas and not have sufficient funds for other payments that you need to make.
Yeah.
This can happen in your budget?
A crisis for me. It's a crisis.
Definitely, it can happen or whatever. A lot of times you can't really spend your money till you get it. You don't know where your money's going to go till you get it, and then you can make the decisions where it's going to go. You already have that budget. It's already pre-decided. So.
It's pre-decided.
But life hits you real hard, though.
Hits you awfully hard.
So everybody expects to put money aside and be able to be comfortable and have it like a cushion. But when something comes out of left field and it hits you, blindsides you, you know, you're not be able to equip with that. In other words,
okay.
I thought that's where like your savings supposed to come in, like the money you savings come in. For those
what is savings?
What is
Where do we put that at?
What is that?
We did a show on the savings where you're supposed to at least have $500.
That's what they said.
You need a recap.
Yeah, I think what was really disturbing about that show is that they literally said that most Americans do not have $500 in their savings. You know what I mean? It was like the percentage of Americans that has $500 or more in their savings account was like low.
Wow.
Like 5%.
I have a portion of my check that goes into savings. But the way that my bills are set up is like something always come up where you got
the way my bills
right. Don't come for me like that. I have to dip into the savings every now and again, so it's hard to keep savings in. Savings
why can't the bills just get on the same page?
Right.
Why this one due on the 1st, this one due on the 5th, this one due on the 14th, this one on the 28th?
Sometimes it's overwhelming because you expect to have, even at that $500, it's a safety net, but sometimes things happen where you got to use that and you're looking for the next paycheck and it's about a week away.
Yeah.
But still, if you're on that budget and say you need 2 tires that week, like you got to go back, rebudget.
Tires are budget busters.
Right. So you have to rebudget. So that's why I said
tires are the
skip
worst.
the budget.
That was a good example because tires are the worst. It's so expensive. I had to put tires on my car. It cost me over $800.
Really?
I said, are you
don't
kidding
know the right
me?
people.
You know what I mean? Like, evidently I don't.
It's a couple Mexican homies on 40.
I'm trying to tell you, I hook you right on up. $40 a while, you know.
I just had my daughter call me like 3 days ago, like, Mom, the tire bust up front. Like, see, I can't take care of that on the budget.
Yeah, that's a good one. Tires.
Yeah. That's straight into your savings. Like,
tires ain't that $50, $60 bill.
So how can we come up with a safety net that can actually work? Because $500 is a nice bit of change, but it ain't enough.
It's not enough. All of it requires discipline and dedication.
Better word.
You know what I mean? It requires discipline. It requires to actually put your money away and say, This money doesn't exist. It's not available.
That's hard.
It really is.
That's really hard.
But I'll give you the flip side of it. A lot of times we don't have the money, right? So we don't have it in our savings account. And we work that shit out.
True enough.
You know what I'm saying? It still gets taken care of. So the trick, and again, it's easier said than done, right? I'm not saying I'm the master of it, but the trick would be to keep that state of mind while you got the 500 in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to act like it's not available. Like, no, that's not available. But again, it's hard to do that when the phone ringing and BGE calling.
But then you still have to remember with the 500, like even if you have to touch it, you still have to remember as soon as you can, you have to replace it.
Right.
The 500 is just supposed to be in place at all times.
Right.
So it's not like it's a one-time thing. You use it, it's gone, and you never put it back.
Right.
The $500 is just something you're supposed to keep on hand at all times.
How do we do it putting it back? Do we actually put it back?
No, I got 320 now. I'm good. I got 320 left. I'm good.
What she's saying is right. You know,
Yeah,
put it back,
definitely.
you be good.
Hey, well, for those of you who keep a budget, put $50 back into your savings for your $500 account. That's the way you have to do it.
And some to get back to where you went.
It's the old black saying, if I put it back next week, it'll be fine. I can wait the next week. It's cool. Right? If I get the next week, this next paycheck, I can put it back.
Next paycheck, I should be good.
Before you know, you 6 months in a hole, you ain't put nothing back.
Hey, but that's how it is. If you think about with those budgets, that's how it is with the budget. Every week you're rebudgeting.
True. That's
Because
good. That's
once
good.
you have a budget, like that budget is changing every week because something's coming up.
I'll read a comment here. Miss Talisha Johnson says they say a good nest egg is 3 months worth of bills in your savings. Damn, 3 months worth of bills for me. That's a pretty good savings.
Listen, I'm trying to
I got a lot of bills.
I'm just trying to stick to the 500. Wait a minute.
Good.
We had $500 right now. We ain't going no further.
That's something we need to adopt.
Yeah. Listen.
All right, so the third con is you might run into unexpected financial necessities such as doctor bills, car troubles, right? Which you cannot plan ahead for. Okay, so we kind of covered that one.
Pretty much.
You know, kind of covered that one. Okay, so the next one is you have to set time aside to make these budgets and stick to them if you want your budget to be helpful and work. All right, so let's talk about that. The budget, the whole budget thing is easier said than done.
Yes.
But to actually sit down and create a budget. So what would you have to do to create a budget? First, you have to develop an understanding of where your money's going.
Right.
So first you have to track your money. You got to track your money or track your bills, whichever you can do quicker. You can lay out your bills and see what you have to pay every month. You can find out that way, or you can literally track your money. I think if you want to do a very accurate budget, you probably would have to track your money.
Yes.
So you probably would have to take 30 days of tracking your money to find out exactly where your money goes.
Right.
Let me tell you, I've done this before. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing, right? You are going to be so mad at yourself because we don't know how much money we spend on little stuff. But that would be the best way to do it. First, you know, take 30 days, track your money, everything you spend, write down where it goes, and then go through that, find out which are the bills that are necessities that have to be paid every month, and then you'd be able to like create your budget. You know what I mean? Find out this is what I need to spend every month to keep everything I got. This is what I can cut back on spending on. So that's what they're getting at. You have to set time aside to make these budgets. So they're using that as a con to say, who's doing that? Right. That's like telling people to read a book. Just read that book. You know, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
I'll get to it.
I also have a question with these budgets. Okay. Anybody ever experienced when you do these budgets? You know how you put a budget aside for yourself. Okay, yourself never comes up because every time you know you ready to take that money out for yourself, then something unexpected done happen.
True.
So with that budget, like, see, you never get that self in. Versus if you just go out and get it over with. When you know, got money to do for yourself, you gotta do it right then and there.
Just wild out.
Just get it over with.
I'm the type of person, I count my hours. As I get paid on Friday, I'm like, well, look, I got this to the side and that to the side, and I got this right here. But somehow, that Friday, it goes haywire. As soon as I get my little check or whatever, it's gone by the weekend.
So another route with a budget, if we go back to the show that we did on Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and this is one of the secrets financially.
Ooh, I know what you're going to say.
And again, I will lay out my disclaimer. I am not the master of this. I'm just the messenger, right? So, according to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, book written by Robert Kiyosaki, One of the keys to money is understanding a couple of things. First of all, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep, right? And with your money, contrary to what we've been taught, you're actually supposed to pay yourself first. Now, as Americans, what we're taught is to pay our bills first. That's what we all do. Right. We pay our bills, and then we see what's left, and then we do what we want with that. But Robert Kiyosaki said you should pay yourself first. He was like, your bills are not more important than you. You know, so get your paycheck and decide what percentage of your check you're keeping. So if you say, I'm keeping 300 of this, then you take your bills and you work it from what's left from that 300 versus saying, let me pay all my bills and I hope it's 300 left. So I just want to throw that out there. That's an interesting way of viewing it, right? So let's go into the pros. Let's talk good stuff about budgets. First pro, you see exactly where your money goes. Rent, groceries, pleasures, etc. So a budget's going to show you where your money goes. And again, I've done it, and you're going to be surprised.
I was about to say, you just said it was sad.
It is. It's a much easier life when you don't track your money. You know what I'm saying? Because when you track your money, you find out you're not as broke as you thought you was.
No, you're not.
You're actually breaking yourself.
The crazy thing about it is like, say this little coffee I got from Wawa.
Right.
That's $3 and change times 30 is $175 a month.
I'm trying to tell you.
I'm sitting here sick, like, damn, I'm broke.
Thinking you don't have no money.
Nope.
Right, you're not broke. It's taking your money. Right. Or making it home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can keep that cup if you want. Right. Be like, this Dunkin' Donuts. All right, number 2 is you will know exactly how much you have to spend each month and how much you can set aside. So that's a pro.
But you don't know exactly how much you're going to have to spend because it's always something unexpected coming through the door.
Well,
even with bills.
Well, if we take Samantha's route, Samantha said make that a part of the budget. So maybe a part of your budget is a $300 miscellaneous. Right?
True.
If it gets used, you got it available.
Yes.
If it doesn't get used, it's an extra $300, a part of your savings.
But the only problem with that is that every time you try to save and try to put something aside, somebody always got something for you to do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, exactly. So my point is, like, I put a $300 to the side, but I can do this and put that back and do this and put that back. So it's never really enough money to put aside to do what you want to do.
Yeah, because depending on your circle, that's going to be part 2. We're going to get into talking about a circle. Your circle helps spend your money. And a lot of us are not aware of that. I'm going to say that again. The circle of people that you hang with are professionals at helping you spend your money.
Hell yeah.
This is why they invite you to everything. Do you understand what I'm saying? Every crab feast, every cookout, every party, every bar setting, they invite you. So they're inviting you to come spend your money. Yes, you're going to have a good time, but at the end of the day, you're going to wake up tomorrow morning with less. So that's just food for thought.
Okay.
All right, the next one is you can plan ahead for bills, such as credit cards, and you can allocate funds to certain cards each month.
That's a good idea.
You can plan ahead, so you can look at credit cards and know this is what I have to pay.
Yes.
And you don't have to have surprises on that end. And the last pro is you don't have to worry about if you have enough funds for payments or expenses you have because you already budgeted it out. You know what percentage is going to this and going to that. So if you stick to your budget, you'll always have money. What do we think?
Sounds about right.
Creating a budget. We've heard the pros, we've heard the cons. Creating a budget, constructive or destructive? Miss Dennis.
It's constructive if you're disciplined enough to follow.
Okay, constructive. Mr. Woodson.
I'm going to go with her on that. It's constructive. I can go for that.
I think it's constructive, but challenging.
Yes.
And I think it's destructive if you want to get off paycheck to paycheck living.
Okay, there it is.
I think it's destructive.
So we got mixed views on it, but I think the constructive wins 3-1.
Yeah.
So today we're going to say constructive, but again, it's going to require discipline. It's going to require work to make it constructive. If you're not willing to put that in, it can end up being destructive. So we'll move on. We're going with constructive. Sorry, Miss Janice, we outvoted you.
Oh, I'm fine with it.
She's sticking to it.
You can take, I don't.
Sticking to it.
I'm good.
All right, so the next for constructive or destructive is going to be changing your circle. Before we get into it, has anyone ever considered changing their circle?
I have.
Well, let me define it, what it actually means. Changing your circle is referencing the people that you have in your life that are surrounding you, the people that you do things with, you know, have fun with, go out with, share your life with, things of that nature. This is what we're referring to when we say your circle. So has anyone ever considered changing their circle?
Oh, I have.
Mr. Woodson says he has. What about you, Miss Dennis? She has too? Lovely Miss Janice?
No.
No? Okay, your circle's fine?
I don't really have a circle.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that too. I don't even have a circle, but I guess if I do, I did change it over the years. So I changed it at some point.
Okay.
You know, so let's talk about that. So before we make a decision if changing your circle is constructive or destructive, I want to go over a few things that might help us get a little clarity. So we're going to give 5 life-changing facts about your circle of friends that we may not have considered before. Number 1, it affects you subconsciously. The great thing about being surrounded by successful people is that you'll notice yourself becoming a better person naturally. You'll talk like them, you'll think like them, you'll even dress and walk like them because you are a part of their circle. A large reason why you will accomplish more than the average person surrounding you is because you have lined yourself up with others who have had some success in their life. As life goes on, you will meet more and more successful people, and it will become a very powerful influence on you. So it affects you subconsciously. Do we believe this?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so can anyone give me any examples of it affecting you subconsciously? Your circle of friends.
I mean, you're always going to be worried about what they're going to think.
Okay, true, but I guess I'm referencing like a physical effect.
Okay.
For me, if you have a circle of friends that goes to the bar every weekend, you're going to be at the bar every weekend.
Yeah.
Or at least every other weekend. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Actually,
Okay.
Can you think of a physical, you know, where it's actually affecting someone? You know, if you got a circle of friends that likes to shop every 2 weeks, you're going to be shopping every 2 weeks. They like to hit the mall every other Saturday and say, hey, we go to East Point, you know, we do this, we do that.
If you have a circle of friends that's like in bad relationships, I guess. Even if you're in a good
Shots
relationship,
fired.
yours always gonna have, yours can always have issues.
That's a good one.
Go straight down.
That's a good one.
You're gonna always be taking their problems at home,
Right.
and you don't have these issues
And
at
better
home.
yet,
but you're gonna be
taking their
bringing
advice.
them. You're gonna be bringing these.
That's
issues
a good
into
one.
your home, so you have to be aware
Hey,
of
you
that.
want a successful relationship, you better get around people who got successful relationships.
But
Keep hanging around with them couples that argue all the time. Next thing you know, you and your
I mean, think
partner
about it. That's
argue.
common sense.
Yeah, okay, I get
Really
it.
gonna
Yeah,
be true.
that was a good one. Mr. Woodson, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when it's like I found myself falling victim to them nightlights, hanging out with people, drinking, and you know, and it started to affect me, like doing my work, like going to work and dealing with other people because hanging out all night don't pay.
It doesn't pay. Do we feel like it's peer pressure involved with that? You know, like even though we're all adults, so I don't mean like high school peer pressure, but just the peer pressure of your circle feeling like she never wants to do anything with us anymore.
Yeah.
He don't never want to come out.
Oh, you don't rock with me no more.
You don't rock with me
and
no
all
more.
this
You know what I mean?
other
Like, what's
crap.
going on? What did I do to you? You know, like, have I offended you?
Guilt trip.
Like, no, you offended my pockets.
They guilt you into coming out.
There you go.
You're just a good
That's
time.
what I was looking for. They guilt you. They guilt you. So this is happening.
Yes.
Very, very interesting. So we agree that it does affect you?
Yeah.
Subconsciously?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it does too. And I think that's a important topic to bring up. All right, a little music there. Because I think that's something that we might not necessarily pay attention to. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, like the subconscious effect. That's why it's called the subconscious. Because it's affecting you in ways that you may not consciously be aware of. You know, like because you may not be with them. Right? But you may be somewhere else, and it's on that particular day that y'all normally go shopping. And you might find yourself with the person you went, like, come on, let's go to the mall. You don't even, like the person you with may not even get down like that, right?
Right.
But that's what you're used to doing. So subconsciously it has affected you to a point where you don't even have to be around them, but this is how you're going to
Took
get
on
down.
their traits.
Right. You know, you're taking on the traits.
And that subconscious, that's really deep. Because even though I never experienced it myself personally, my oldest daughter did. Now, growing up, my oldest daughter had a group of friends who had a lot of issues. And all of a sudden, like, she started bringing those home. And she could be walking around, like, you know, going into fits, like, oh, I'm not happy here. And they're like, whoa.
Right.
Slow down.
Like, wait a minute. Who have you been hanging around?
What's going on? Your friends have issues, not you.
Right. And you know, that kind of reminds me. Go ahead, though. I'm sorry.
And it's just so fun because we will still laugh about it today.
Right.
When she
That's
started
a subconscious effect.
That's really deeper than what you think it is.
It reminds me of, you know, when you see people do skits about the black kid that's been hanging with the white kid. And he comes home to his parents like, God damn it, Mom, you're not going to talk to me. And the mom's like, boy, who the hell are you talking to? You know, and it's because he's been hanging around Billy.
Listen.
And Billy gets down like that with
After she slid you under the couch, then she talks to you.
Yeah,
slid right up under the couch, like then look at
yeah, it does have an effect.
So they have it has more effect than you think it is.
The subconscious.
Than you think it do. Yes, really, truly.
So that's a good life-changing effect that we didn't know about a circle of friends.
Right.
The effect it has. You know what I mean? Because like if your circle of friends, especially as full-grown adults, right? Say your circle of friends, you got 5 in your circle, right? Within that circle, 3 of them decide they're going back to school. You're probably going to end up back in school.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because you go, you know, your circle of friends, this is influencing you. Like, I see what they're saying. I think I might do this as well, so forth and so on. Versus if your circle of friends just like to drink and smoke weed all weekend. You're probably going to drink and smoke weed all weekend.
Sounds like a party.
Right? You know,
Sounds like a party.
I think this is very valid and it's definitely something to pay attention to. I think that's something to pay attention to for sure. All right, so let's do number 2. Number 2, the 6th man theory. The 6th man theory. I think we discussed this a little bit in the hallway. If you hang around 5 millionaires, you will eventually become the 6th. If you hang around 5 people who are in the struggle, you will eventually become the 6th. If they all do drugs, you will eventually find yourself doing drugs. Take a look at who you surround yourself with, and you'll notice that your life is a reflection of those people. Think about this very carefully before moving forward.
That's deep.
It's very deep. Because think about it even further. Because think about it like if you're a person who stays in the struggle and you're always struggling. And just think for a second if your inner circle is full of people in the struggle with you. Then if that's the case, then you can see something's wrong. Because we should not all be in the struggle.
And you know, and I think it does promote you staying there.
There should have been a few of us picking up a couple of us to get out the struggle. Like, look, so if you have a inner circle where 90% of you is in the struggle,
that means you're okay with it if you've gotten that, don't you?
You don't
I think it's viewed as being normal.
True.
You know what I mean? Like as black people, we don't have. I get a bell on that.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, I think it's normal.
It's the norm.
It's so normal to us. You know what I mean?
It definitely
like we're
is.
used to being around people who really don't have much more than us. You know what I mean? And I think that's what keeps us all kind of friends with each other. You know, and I say that because when you go through life and you evolve and you try to move on to bigger and better things, often family and friends fall off because they don't evolve with you. You know what I mean? So this is what I was saying in the hallway earlier about the Facebook comment about having the same friends for over 20 years. I don't know. If they haven't evolved, then that probably means you haven't as well. You get what I'm saying? You know, and you're not going to evolve by being around the same people all the time. And I don't think they're trying to implement like kicking people out your life completely. I think they're just saying you got to reevaluate your circle. To me, it's more like time management. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, so you got your circle that you grew up with who may not be evolving as much. And then you got your other circle who fits the evolution that you've experienced. So you have to weigh out who you're going to spend more time with.
Right.
It's time management.
True.
You get what I'm saying? So if I go around the people that I grew up with and I have fun with, I know I'm allotting this time for me to just be having fun. Are you getting with them this weekend? Yeah, I'm getting with them this weekend. We going to the ocean, doing this in the 3rd. And then I'll see him again 7 months from now, right? Because I'm gonna be around the other people to keep me evolving. So I think that's interesting.
Well, I guess I have to backtrack that then, because I know in the beginning I was like, well, I don't really have an inner circle to change, but I guess that wasn't true, because I guess I changed my inner circle over the years, because a few years ago, like I had probably had 3 cars, and that inner circle was telling you like, girl, you doing good. And it wasn't until I got around a different inner circle like, girl, you in debt like a mother.
Right. There you go. Reality check. That's what I'm saying. Your circle is going to determine your view.
It took that one person, you like way over your
circle looking at you
have
like,
more
girl,
liability than you have assets.
Somebody else looking at you like, you tripping.
And at that point, I might have thought like, you're right.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
So, but when you had that whole inner circle, like making you feel like you was doing things on top, like you didn't.
Now that supports what they're saying, that your life is a reflection of those people.
So I guess I have to backtrack and say, like, I guess I did change my inner circle.
Most of them people, it's the crabs in the barrel. For example, I ain't gonna say many years, we'll tell our age up here, but I'm almost 32 myself. Well, I'm gonna say a good 20 years ago. You know, this guy, I've been rocking with this guy since I was 16 years old, maybe a little bit longer than that. And I had both sides of the field. I had us coming up and doing certain things we shouldn't have been doing. Then I also had other people, you know, working, doing things. So I split half my time with the guys on the corner and half the time with the guys who work for a living. But the guys on the corner were pulling me more like, man, what you gonna work 9 to 5 for? It's nothing in that. So instead of them telling me that, you know, this doesn't last forever over here,
right?
You know, but you're telling me, look, this not be the best opportunity, but it's different than that,
right?
So they keep you down. That's why in that circle, when everybody's poor, you know, I can go to the house and get some sugar, I can go to the house and get some bread, I can go to your house and get something to drink.
Right.
Never want to get out there and get it myself, because I know the poverty, how the situation is. We can always get from someone else instead of getting myself.
Right. Got you.
You know what I'm saying? That's why the 5 broke people stay broke, because we're working together.
Right.
Valid point.
And the 5 people that have money, they're networking, getting money together.
That's it. The circle is important. I don't think I necessarily purposefully changed my circle. I just started evolving. They fell off on their own. You get what I'm saying? Like if you start evolving, the circle change happens on its own, because if they don't evolve with you, they don't want to be around you. Like people don't want to be around other people who have more money than them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So if y'all going to the mall and then they know all y'all is in a certain bracket of money, but then this one girl, they know she make $182,000, and they don't want to go to the mall with her because they too afraid she going in the Louis store while everybody else is in Old Navy. I'm about to use the bathroom right quick. I'll be back. So they tend to fall off on their own. You know what I mean? They don't even want to be around you no more because they can't handle that you not exactly a part of the same struggle no more. So some of them, you know, they just fall off on their own.
I think the biggest thing is, I guess, to ask yourself where you see yourself going and what you want out of your life. And if the people that are in it, if they are contributing to that or they're taking away from it, and then decide, you know,
it's very important.
Where are you going to go from there with those friendships?
Yeah, and I think a lot of times within the black community, I don't think we pay attention because we haven't been taught that, right?
Exactly.
I don't think we pay attention to the effect that the people we hang around. And then the biggest thing that I think happens within our community is we're very hung up on family. You know, like we will have family members that are freaking toxic. You get what I'm saying? And we will not disconnect because it's like, that's my cousin, you know what I mean? Or that's my nephew, you know, that's my mom or whoever. And unfortunately, it hurts us because sometimes you have to disconnect. And sometimes when you disconnect, that person will feel a certain way for a period of time. But if you begin to evolve from that disconnection, sometimes it affects them. And they'll want to reconnect with you, but this time so they can evolve with you. Because they grew a little bit in that 3-year period that you wasn't dealing with them too much. And they realized, you know what, like I get it. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't thinking the way you was thinking. Right. You know, but I see now. I'm looking at your progress. I see what you've done. I'm ready to start talking. You know what I mean?
Most of the time with friends and family, you don't even have to worry about making that disconnect. They're going to make the disconnect from you. When you start evolving, they're the ones going to disconnect. So you're not going to have to worry about disconnecting from them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that happens a lot. Yeah, I think that happens a lot.
Be left out
even just from conversation. I've been around people that I loved and grew up with and all that, and they couldn't even handle conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind we're going to talk about the playoffs, you understand what I mean, the Ravens or whatever, but if we're going to be here for 4 hours, like, I'm not talking about this shit for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, they willing to talk about this for 3-4 hours. Next thing you know, we all way back in high school. Remember when we played Jocktown and Rich was, he got hit on the 3rd yard line, and I'm just looking like, dog, like, I thought we was talking cryptocurrency or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to talk about this, like, this conversation ain't over. So that's a part of it, too. But listen, we are up on our first break. Stay with us. It's the Black Body Man Radio Show. We are talking constructive or destructive. We'll be back after this break. Take it away, Nate.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story, adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
Hey, there's my son. You've been in your room all morning.
Hey, Dad.
Matt, what's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Oh, well, it's just sort of.
I have been playing my video games and electronic games for so many hours.
Uh-huh. Well, it sounds like it might be time for you to take a break, or...
Hello, Dad.
Susan?
I have been watching TV and text messaging all morning. Yay, electronics. Yay, yay, yay.
Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and take a little trip. Maybe see some trees, some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Get out to the forest and discover the wonders of nature with your family, just like Blue, Jewel, and the whole Rio flock.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Let's rock this jungle.
Yeah!
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning.
Clean water.
Woohoo! This is great.
And endless surprises.
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing.
Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to
Then what you're
going
to do is turn onto Marcy Avenue.
Just broke up
and go past the first 3
she's
lights
happy
and then
about
take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
then
think
drive 5
she's
more
happy,
blocks
but
and you should be
who
there.
am I to judge, right?
Park on the
Anyway,
right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry.
You are
Car
listening to
changing lanes.
BeExposedRadio.com.
Stop sign.
I see him come with the sign. I said, that's what he do. That's what I see. Sign up.
All right, we are back. All right, so welcome back, everybody, to the BBD Radio Show. If you didn't join us at the top of the show, today is another exciting episode of Constructive or Destructive. First up to the plate was creating a budget. So 3-1, we decided creating a budget was constructive. Excuse me. And now we are moving on to changing your circle. So we were going over 5 life-changing facts about your circle that you might not have thought of. So number 1 was your circle affects you subconsciously. Excuse me. Number 2 is the 6th man theory. So let me go over that one again, because that was kind of like our last focus, right?
Yeah.
So the 6th man theory is if you hang around 5 millionaires, you will eventually become the 6th. If you hang around 5 people who are into struggle, you will eventually become the 6th. If they all do drugs, you will eventually find yourself doing drugs. Take a look at who you surround yourself with, and you'll notice that your life is a reflection of those people. Think about this very carefully before moving forward. So for me, the biggest thing in here is the reflection. Developing and understanding that your life is a reflection of the people that you are around. I remember one time my uncle called me an asshole. And I told him, that's because I grew up around you. What are you talking about?
Slap in the face.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who do you think made me this way? You know what I'm saying? I'm a reflection of you guys. And that's what this is saying. So everything that we just discussed was great examples of that reflection. You get what I mean? Great examples. And Samantha, I want to touch on what you said. You do have to be around people who are going to elevate you, people who are going to grow
you. If that's what you want.
Yeah.
Put that part. If that's what you want for yourself.
But most of us claim that that's what we want.
But they don't have the action to back it up.
Well, I'll go into a few of the books I read, like Millionaire Next Door and The Millionaire Mind. Now, these are books where the author interviewed like 100 millionaires and asked them all a series of questions to try to find the common thread amongst all of them. So on what you said on if you want it, one of the common threads was that they all said, poor people say they want stuff, but they do nothing to get it.
Absolutely.
I was offended. I was like, shit off. I'm one of the poor people. You get what I'm saying? So that caused me to start looking at things differently, right? Because you can see how that would offend you. Think about if a rich person really said that to you. If you was with a rich person, you like, yeah, I want this, I want that. They like, no, you don't. How you figure I don't want it? What are you doing to get it? I go to work every day, and that's why you ain't gonna get it. Right. That's how they look at it. You get what I mean?
I seen something on Steve Harvey this morning where he said rich people don't sleep. In other words, he said because as you're sleeping, they're out there chasing the dollar.
Yeah, they trying to figure out ways to make their money work for them. So that's out of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Remember, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki said, poor people work hard for money. Rich people make their money work hard for them.
Absolutely.
You understand what I mean? So he's like, poor people will get their tax return for $8,000 and they'll take it and go buy a bunch of stuff that's liabilities. New cars, new rims, new TVs, new clothes, go on vacation, Kings Dominion, all that stuff. A rich person will take $1,000 and use for that, and take the $7,000, put it away, and invest it in something. Start a business, invest it in stocks, put it in a mutual fund for your kids. Things of that nature. And we just haven't been taught that.
Definitely not.
Most Americans have not been taught that because within the American educational system, they do not teach us financial literacy. So these are things that you have to find out on your own. Which is why a rich person will look at you and say, you don't really want it. Like, I know they didn't teach it to you, but the information's out here. So if you're not actively seeking the information, you don't really want it. What you want to do is have fun. Someone just said to me a couple days ago, I'm trying to put it in exact words. He said, a lot of us in the black community, and this is somebody with money too, he was like, we want the reward before we put in the work.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we want the reward of partying and crab feasts and all that type of stuff, when in reality we didn't put in the work to really deserve that reward. We're still in the struggle. So it's a very interesting perspective. You know, some people get offended by it, but I don't, because I like to learn. I want to pick the brain of these people who, you know, got where I'm trying to get to.
But our problem is, in all black communities, when everybody listen to what I'm saying, all black communities, we are so fine with being content.
True.
Being content, because as long as the rent's paid, as long as gas is paid, kids are fed, everybody's sleep good at it, we're content. We're content for that day. But tomorrow, like we all just said, life hits you.
Yes.
You got $2 over rent, like it's a cliche to say. Once the next day you come out there, something happens, $2 is gone.
Right.
Now you ain't content no more. Now you struggling. Now you doing all these things trying to get by. You took on a part-time job. Life hits you again. Like for us, it's a people. Life hits me about 365 days of the year. Life hits me. So I don't know about y'all. It's always something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's always something. It's never a dull moment.
And just, I wanted to add on to something that Yogi just said when you said when Steve Harvey made the comment. Now, when I first initially talked about that, I was offended when Steve made that comment.
A lot of people were.
But then, as I thought about it, and I was like, wait, as I'm out here chasing my dream, like, sleep is like the last thing you're getting. Like, if you're out here chasing a dream, you're not really getting a whole lot of sleep.
Yeah, and you know, I don't necessarily think that he literally meant sleep.
I
think that's a part of it. I think he's meaning more on, again, if we go back to time management, what we tend to do with our spare time. If you're not working on achieving your dream, then you sleeping.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You sleeping.
Metaphorically.
Right. That's what he means.
Right.
Rich people don't sleep. You know what I mean? We don't take every weekend. And when I say we, I do not mean me. I know. I'm speaking from the perspective of a rich person, right? I don't mean me, because I am not rich, right? But what they're saying is we don't take our spare time and take it for granted. We don't take our spare time and say, oh, I'm off on Thursday, I'm going to get me a drink. Right. You know, I'm going here, I'm calling my girl, I'm calling my homeboy, blah, blah, blah. They take that spare time and they work on their goals and their dreams. And that's how they get it. And then once they get it, see, now they can really party. Now you can really enjoy yourself. So the sooner we learn that in life, the better off we be. But it is challenging when you come from certain backgrounds, certain environments, and then you're surrounded by people who do not share that thought process with you. And sidebar, when that happens, and I've never heard anybody mention this, but this is definitely with black people, you are going to have skin thick enough to deal with the slander and backlash that your circle, family, friends, co-workers, whoever, is going to be giving you when you start doing something different. Because I'm telling you, black people don't take too kindly when you change up. When you say, I'm not eating them crabs, or I'm not going to that event, I'm not going out with y'all tonight, I'm not buying tickets to that, they start looking at you funny. Like, what's up with that? You know what I mean? Like, why you don't do nothing with us no more? They often do not comprehend that you may be trying to better yourself. For a lot of us, it comes through to them like, you know, you funny acting.
Oh, you too good now.
Right. You know what? At the end of the day, like they say all those things, but then you have to say to yourself, I don't owe anybody no explanation.
You don't.
You don't owe anybody anything because they're not putting food on your table. They're not doing anything for you.
Right.
So you can have that backlash, and somebody's always going to be saying something against what you're doing. You just got to know that what you're doing is for you. And
that's right.
You don't owe nobody nothing.
That's right.
Samantha, your head's on point today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it looks nice. Looks nice. Very nice. Very nice.
The problem with people is that they want you to do all these things with you, hang out, do all this other stuff to you, and then when you started sinking from hanging around with the Get Along gang, then they want to judge you. And you'd asked me to go about 100 times this week. Finally, I started going out, getting back into the mix. And then when one of your flaws come out and they see it, oh man, you need to get yourself together.
Right, absolutely.
Now I didn't held these skeletons in my closet for years. I've been doing good and doing the right thing. I've turned to the left instead of to the right and get out there with the right. And then they cast this big judgment on you, and they were the one calling you to the. Right. Oh, I don't cuss on live. I wanted to so bad. I wanted to so bad, but
it's internet radio.
Yeah, but it bothers me the most with people is that they want you to go out there and do the most craziest stuff with them and hang out, but then turn around and talk to another friend of theirs that you don't associate with, and then they'll slander your character to the utmost.
Yes.
So true.
you acting different. You funny acting.
And then when you tell them about this stuff, like, look, you were the one who called me out, but you didn't have to go. You called me 7 times.
Right.
So on the 7th ring, I finally answered, and I come out and you judge me? Ridiculous.
You feel like you've been set up.
Set up.
They just set me up.
It's always going to be acceptable when you're doing what they're doing with them. Because you're in the same boat. Y'all broke together, y'all broke together. They ain't going to hate on that. But as soon as you do something different, then that's when the problem.
That's that evolution. Yeah, I feel like we always, well, at least, some of us, we don't respect the decisions that other people in our circle make.
Right.
And it could be, if you just tell black people you don't eat pork, like black people don't let you just say, I don't eat pork no more. They be like, why?
They do nothing.
Yeah, why? Why not?
All the pork at the mother's table?
Yeah, because of this or because of that. I mean, so what? Yeah, you grew up your whole life eating pork. My grandmother been eating pork and it's like, why can't you just respect that I don't want to do this no more? Why am I sitting here explaining to you why I'm not doing something anymore? You know what I mean? So I feel a lot of us lack that respect and just respecting people's decisions.
Sure. But why do you feel the need to justify it?
Exactly. It's that peer pressure because it is family and friends and your circle. You know what I mean? Because subconsciously, you don't want them thinking you just changing up on them. So you will offer that explanation.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Especially
saying?
with your family.
Yeah.
When I like I tell people, when I first became Muslim, I remember my grandmother telling me, "Oh, you be back," and I looked at her, "Be back to what?" I was trying to figure out where did I go? You know what I'm saying? And she said that. She said, "You'll be back," and
You'll be back in the name of Jesus.
So I asked so my aunt got on the phone. She said, "What did she say to you?" I said, "Well, my aunt, what I said? She said I'll be back." I said, "I didn't know I was part of a fraternity or something like that." You know what I mean? I didn't know I joined and then left. You know what I'm saying? But it's people, and I love my grandmother, God rest her soul. But she was so influenced by church from a younger age all the way till she became in her latter years. You know what I'm saying? She was fixated on me coming back to something that she wanted to be.
Right.
You know, but I wanted to tell her so bad. Like, my mom's raised us different from you, Grandma. If we wanted to go, we wanted to go. We didn't have to go.
It wasn't forced.
So when I made an easy transition over to being Muslim, it wasn't hard for me. So
that's awesome, man. You know what I mean? That's a good example. Because that's what I'm saying. We don't have a history of respecting each other's decisions. You know what I mean? If you say, I'm not going to this event or whatever, like, they want an explanation. Why not?
Right, they did.
When you start this up? You know what I'm saying? You have to explain things. It's like, damn, y'all just can't respect it. I said no.
I guess you pro-black now.
Yeah, you pro-black, huh? Malcolm X.
Listen to the system in a minute like this,
like this, right? I see you. Damn.
Sometimes you got to spin the finger on them. Just do like this. Yeah, just like that. Just spin the finger.
You know what I mean? See you at the finish line.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's sickening sometimes.
It is. So I like that they focus on that your life is a reflection of those other people. All right, so let's do number 3. Number 3, you must learn who to let go. You need to cut out those who don't help you grow and move forward. Let me read that again.
One more time, brother.
You need to cut out those who don't help you grow or move forward. If there's people in your life who hold you back and aren't aligned with your goals, you need to just let them go. I don't mean this in an aggressive, get out of my life forever way, unless they're that really damaging, like a drug addict or someone who's using you. I just mean that you need to stop spending time with these people. Stay in touch when you can, but make the right, important people your priority.
Yeah.
True.
That's a big one. So that's exactly what you were saying earlier. You get what I mean? And I chimed in with the time management. You know what I'm saying? Deciding how much time you're going to spend with these people. You know, Dave Chappelle made a comment on one of his stand-ups one time, right? And I thought it was interesting because I know he was telling the truth. And what he said was, when you are awakened and you get around other people, you have to dumb yourself down in order to stay there and have a pleasant time with them.
Layman's term.
You understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, so that's what I mean. You know, your time management is going to deal with you being around people who can help you evolve. And then when you get around certain people that you love, that you know are not evolving, you're going to kind of have to dumb yourself down. You know what I mean? And just go revert to being about, let's just talk about the playoffs for 3 hours. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like I thought it was a valid statement when he said that.
So even when they say, even you're going to have to let some of these people go, like how do you let them go when you have that emotional connection to them? That's difficult.
That's a good question.
Because we're emotional people, like
right. That's a good question. If you can't just cut them off, just start talking about the things that you're doing. They'll cut themselves off.
Wow. Reverse psychology.
Yeah, just be around them and be like, yeah, I started school again. You know what I mean? So I'm in my second semester. It ain't gonna be but 2-3 times of that. Ain't coming around you no more.
Hit one of these numbers. Yeah. It's a good book coming out next month.
Right, exactly.
Listen, Brian, I'm gonna get up with you.
Let me highlight. I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back. A bird just flew by my window. I'm gonna call you back.
But my thing with my friends is I have a good bit of friends, but I only take a few of them dear to me because the other ones, it seems like it's no growth. We talk about the same things, we argue about the same things, and it's just sometimes it's to the point where I just don't have any conversation.
Right.
So what I'm gonna this is for me today. Every Monday I try to start something. It might not go my way, but it's the intent.
Yes.
You have to fix your household up first before you open your door to other people. Because if you're bringing that negative vibes into your household, you'll become negative like they are.
Right.
So it's a start over. You pick and choose who you want to deal with. You fix process of elimination. She's all right. He's cool. Cut him off. You know what I'm saying? And basically start from inside out. So that's what I'm going to try. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
No, and it won't. I mean, it can, depending on how harsh you're willing to be. But most of us don't want to be harsh.
At all.
You know what I mean? So it can be a process. But again, like I said, if you start involving yourself with people who can help you evolve, you're going to find that you're not going to be giving time to the people who are not helping you grow. Because no one's getting younger. Samantha's the youngest on this panel, right? And this is why it's so great for you to hear this information, because you can skip over so much of the bullshit that we didn't get a chance to skip over because, we wasn't being fed this information. But that had to do with the times. We didn't come up in the information age. We came up in the industrial age. You are in the information age, you know what I mean, which is great. So you can learn things at 30 that we didn't get till 40. You get what I'm saying? But that's a part of it. You're going to find, you know what? I can go link up with what's his face tonight. He wants to go to the bar and have a drink, but I know he gonna want to talk about some stocks and things he's trying to do with money, ideals he got. Or I can go with my crew. They gonna go to the bar. We gonna have some drinks, and we gonna talk about every piece of dumb shit on this planet. Right? We gonna talk about people, about sports. We gonna talk about entertainment. We gonna find out what dress Beyonce wore on the red carpet last week. A bunch of shit that ain't helping you in no way in life. So I think those people are going to make your decision easy for you.
Right. So even with those, I mean, this is just a question. Is it true? Because they say when you cut people off, like you have to cut them straight off, but then you also have to cut off like the friends that you have mutual. Like, do you have to make that cut too?
According to this, right, they're saying anybody that doesn't help you grow and move forward, like that's as dry cut as it can get. You can literally evaluate them.
When y'all have mutual friends amongst each other, do you cut them off as well? Like, because you're still going to stay in contact in one way, shape, or form.
Right, but if they're not helping you grow or move forward, they're saying let it go.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If they not, and I think this has a heavier effect the older you are.
Because it takes like half your friend list.
Yeah, because the older you are, the less time you have to get your shit together. See, Samantha's at an age, she might not have to cut off everybody. She doesn't have the experience in life that we've had. You get what I'm saying? So right now, she's in a position where she say, I only had to cut off 2 or 3 of them. We up on some shit. Like, I'm not clear this roster out. Right? Because I've been doing this for 40 years and I know the results of this. I got to clear all this out. But you get what I'm saying? You won't necessarily know that until you see where your friends is at 31, 32, 33. And then that's when you can say, oh, you know what? I gotta start clearing these people out. We in our 40s, and we know what's been happening in the past 20 years.
But I agree with her on that, because she's basically saying that if you say you're my friend, right, and I cut you off, But then I got several other friends that we all hang out together.
Right.
And the first day they come in the situation, man, why you cut Mike off?
Right.
And they basically like, yo, he's a good dude. No, he wasn't a good dude. So what I'm going to do is cut you off as well.
Right.
Right.
Because I'm saving myself from his toxic energy.
Right.
So I'm going to say this. I want to say this earlier too. To speak to people on my page or whatever. It's if you don't hear from me after today, it's nothing personal. It's no disrespect or none of that stuff. But I have to separate myself from the buffoonery. Because at the end of the day, I notice that I'm arguing with myself. Because at the end of the day, I don't need half of the people I'm arguing with.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much arguing with myself because I'm going back and forth with you being combative. And I'm working my nerves, blood pressure's going up high for something I don't have to deal with.
Right.
So, in this being said, if you don't hear from me, and it's nothing personal, in order for me to gain success and to be the person that I need to be, I have to leave you where you stand. So
yes. First statement, you need to cut out those who don't help you grow or move forward. That's just the reality of it. You understand what I mean? If you can't contribute to my growth, whether it's just through conversation or us literally networking together and doing some things, I gotta let you go.
And it's simple. It shouldn't be no beef, especially if you explain to the person, like, look, I'm not saying you're a bad person to the mass. You're just a bad person to me.
Yeah.
Right. Who wants to hear that?
Right. Well, at a minimum, even if you don't feel they're a bad person, you're of no benefit.
Right.
There's no benefit for me hanging with you. No offense, other than the fact that I've been knowing you since we've been 6.
Sometimes you got to be stern, because if you're not stern, they look at you, oh man, shut up, I'll see you tomorrow.
Right.
And they'll get right in the car and drive off and come back tomorrow with the same crap.
Right.
And it's like sometimes you have to be stern with people. Like, look, man, I'm digging myself into a hole. I'm sinking being around you. I can't breathe.
Right.
So in order for me to breathe, I have to separate myself from you. So what I have to do for me is to cut you off. Hug you before you go. Tell you I love you. It was a good ride.
Right.
But the buck stops here.
Right. And unless you try to evolve with me.
Exactly. So I'm not gonna put myself in a grave because my blood pressure's up. I'm out there drinking and thugging with you in the streets, and I'm not getting no gain.
Right. You're not moving forward. I'll read a couple comments. Ms. Roz Copeland says, we become complacent sometimes being comfortable in situations. Being comfortable in your situations is not always a good thing. Very true. It's not always a good thing. Complacent is definitely where we at. Shout out to Max Casey. What's up, Max? Max says, hey,
Max,
congrats on getting into that store in Dean. I'm going to get mine. Thank you, brother. For those who are not aware of what he's talking about, Black by the Man, we have finally got our t-shirts into our first store. So let's get the bell on that. So if you're in the Harford County area, you can actually purchase a Black by the Man t-shirt from Emmanuel's Beauty Supply at 136 South Philadelphia Boulevard in Aberdeen, Maryland. So thanks, Max, and I appreciate you stopping by there, man, to support the brand. The more we can get people to deplete his stock, it'll encourage him to want to place another order, and we can get even more in there. And shout out to the ladies who have stopped by and bought some of the pink breast cancer awareness shirts from Emmanuel's. Off the top of my head, Miss Katina Copeland, Miss Stacy Smith, I thank you ladies for giving up that support and encouraging other ladies to take the same steps to support black businesses and support the cause of trying to get rid of breast cancer. So thank you, you ladies, get a bell. All right, so let's keep it moving here. So we are on to number 4. So number 4 says, find good mentors. If you're lucky enough to have a successful individual in your family or workplace, connect with them. It is important to have at least one mentor in your life. They will give you honest advice, the hard truth about a situation, and help you out when you're in need, have your back, and ultimately they want to grow and become more successful than they are. Teaching is the best way of learning, so don't be afraid to reach out to people. All right, so we're talking mentors. So again, this goes into your circle, right? You got to have someone in your circle who's, on the same page or has what you want. This is how you're going to move forward. How much time we got before break, Nate? 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. But yeah, so a good mentor. What do we think about this?
Good mentor is always a good thing.
Right. If you can get around some people that'll make it move. You may have to join an organization. Like I'm a member of BPM, that is Black Professional Inc. Check us out on Facebook page. I'm in a network of black men who think the way that I think and even deeper. You get what I'm saying? I need that, right? Because this is how we grow. You know what I mean? I got to have people in my circle. Shout out to my president, Mr. Hassan Diggs, who just had a fishing trip this weekend on his boat. I'm gonna say that again. A fishing trip on his boat. It's the people I need to be around. You know what I'm saying? I don't need the back seat on the way to White Marsh Mall. Wow. I'm trying to be on somebody's boat. You know, so I'm just using him as an example. So that's what I'm saying. You know, mentors. You know, people you can be around where they can, you know, help you in one way, shape, or form. Now, interestingly enough, what I have found through my personal experience is that when you start linking into these people, it's actually more black people that want to help you than what you think. You get what I'm saying? See, we're surrounded by people that don't want to help you with shit. They won't even help you move. You know what I'm saying? You know, hung at your house for 2 years. I'm moving Thursday. Oh, damn, yeah, I got to work. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to help you move, you know. But, yeah, it's actually more of us out here that's willing to help each other than what we think. Has anyone been fortunate enough to have, like, a good mentor in their life? Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I just had
me too.
I just had an experience that happened to me recently. Y'all remember last show when I was talking, well, it could have been last couple shows when I was talking about
30 seconds.
I'm on this 6-figure, you know, search right now. So when I had my first big interview, I went in there and man, I bombed so bad. Bombed so bad, but got a second chance at another interview, and boy, my mentor sat me down and just, we went over some stuff, and I went in there, and y'all know I'm on my way now. That's all I had to say.
All right, that's what's up. That's the stories we like to hear. But look, we up on break. Stay with us. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We'll be back after this.
I'ma show these niggas what to do with one of your beats, man. I am Gas, by the way. Strong woman story should have been on CNN. Nobody knows what it's like being Gwen. Windows closed in the house, it ain't no CNN. Can't gain weight for years, she been being thin. Single mother, no help from the system. When they was giving out food stamps, she missed them. Birth certificate, baby daddy, she couldn't list them. But her son was so beautiful when she kissed him. Blame it on love, but nigga she could've died with. Destroyed the whole world and found out she was a side chick. The nigga loved his wife and it got hard to hide it. So when Gwen confronted him, he ain't even denied it. Her fault, depends on who you asking. She tried to be a stripper, but the tip out was taxing. Buying all the purses, trying to keep up with the fashion. And her mama hated baby sitting with a passion. She deserved better circumstances. A black queen, she should've been blessed with certain chances. Look down upon, getting all the hurting glances. Making men change up all the twerking stances. She never cried about the pain, only gritted her teeth. But most soldiers never get a flower or a wreath. She like G.I. Jane in the war with no relief. Don't recognize why killers was going through her beef. She said more prayers than the nun did. After seeing so much struggles with only one kid, the clinic said baby number 2 couldn't be undid. 9 months later, delivery and it's one big. But this time it was an older dude. But the shit happened so fast, she barely know the dude. Damn, but we all make mistakes though. And the older we get, that's how mistakes go. So he claimed the baby, now with no money. He said shit was hard and his dollars was kinda funny. Gwen was feeling like that was strike 2. So when it rains and pours, that's just how life do. She was thinking about her childhood and how life flew. Her daddy she always loved, but she never quite knew. This was before the bags and the cellulite grew. Other bitches in her shoe, no telling what they might do. You lose a lot of friends, they start to despite you. Passing judgment when they don't got the right to. And even though I love the gangsters, the same for the gangsters. I remember you no matter how big the fame gets. Paint a perfect picture, baby you can frame this. As long as I'm slapping, you will never be nameless. While I was robbing, you did things that was shameless. Both products of our environment, we was blameless. They deserve better, those women who raised men. Who went out of town with us in that day's end. The ones we leave on the streets when them days in. Got slammed right with us when the feds blaze in. Not only men is going through it on the wild turf, but the women too. Add that to the childbirth. Kids raising kids, not knowing what a child worth. How you walk in they shoes when every mile hurt. Turn down the nigga, now you can't get respect from him. Think you should fuck just cause you got a check from him. It's bad, ask him where is his pad.
You are listening to BeatsCoastRadio.com.
show is an episode of Constructive or Destructive. So we were going over, let me get my words right here. We were going over
mentors.
Yes, there you go. Finding a good mentor. All right, so we agree that's awesome advice, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's move to number 5. Having role models. Whilst you likely won't physically be able to connect and spend time with these people, a great way to become successful and stay inspired is to pick up a successful role model and do what they do. Be similar to the kind of person they are. Follow their steps and advice. Pick someone in your industry that you love to look up to and do as they do. Any examples?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Brother Mike from BBD is a role model. Yeah, boy, I'm elevated. Elevation. Well, I'll tell you one of mine. One of mine was Russell Simmons. So I'll tell you, it's a whole lot of things about Russell I can say, right? Everything from creating Def Jam, he's the essence of hip hop in the beginning, so forth and so on. But as a young man, one of the things that fascinated me about Russell Simmons was the first time I seen him come to his own board meeting. Okay, now he's the boss. So in this meeting, long table just like this, you got 5, 6 executives sitting on each side. They got on their shirts, suits, tie, portfolio in front of them, pen on the ground. Everything's nice and neat. They ready, bottle of water, so forth and so on. Russell walked in with a Fat Farm suit on. I said, God damn, that is my hero. You hear what I'm saying? Like, and he displayed to me, this is my company. They have to look that way for me. I come in this bitch looking how I want. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And that just did something to me. It showed me a black man who didn't have to conform to something that he didn't want to conform to. So they all in there with their $1,000 Armani suits on. Russell was in there with his brand on. Fat Farm suit, sat at the top of the table, kicked his feet up, put it up on the desk, and looking at them. Now y'all tell me what y'all got going on. All right, well, Mr. Simmons, first of all, we sales are up 13%, and I was just sitting there looking like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, it was so impressive. So that inspired me, and that was always a goal of mine to, be that boss, and I'm gonna walk into the boardroom dressed the way I want to dress, and they gonna be putting on the Ritz for me. You get what I'm saying? They gonna be putting on the Ritz, right? I heard that in a minute. So that was really inspiring for me because I never seen a black man do that before. Even the most successful black men I had seen up to that point in my life, they still had to conform to certain things. So when they came in the boardroom, they had to look like everybody else, so forth and so on. But Russell showed, I don't have to do that. This is my stuff. This is all me right here. Now, of course, today, I believe Russell was the pioneer of that. It's more common today. So 50 Cent will walk into his board meeting looking like 50 Cent. But I'm telling you, Russell was the first one to do that. You know what I mean? And that was just a side of a black man that I never knew was even possible. You know what I mean? To make it to that level and to say, I don't jump through no hoops. You know what I mean? This me. I signed their paycheck. So that was a role model for me. I ended up buying this book and reading this book, and just trying to learn. So I think that's what they're getting at. Like, even if your role model is someone off of television or anything like that, peep them out. You know what I mean? See what they're about. You guys got any examples of anybody you look at and look up to and say, I want to be like her, I want to be like him, I want to do what they did or whatever? No?
My thing, I can say I don't have so much as role models. I have people that I take their knowledge and run with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, because if I say most things role models, especially in the black communities, when you have, I'm gonna use you for an example. Black by the Man, right? It's something that it's local, it's benefiting, it's dealing with people in our culture. But the people, if I'm saying this is my role model, Michael Harrison Jr. is my role model. Well, he used to do this back in the day.
Sure.
Instead of understanding the gift that he's giving,
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why so many people don't want to acknowledge their role model because of their past or what they used to do.
Sure.
Even like with Russell Simmons, for example, he has the past that they're trying to condemn him for.
Absolutely.
But his message, when he came into that boardroom, he set the standard.
He set the standard. Russell admits that he had a cocaine habit. Russell admits that he's been involved with selling drugs before, that he used to smoke weed all day, every day. You get what I'm saying? But, as he grew as a man, he let all that go. He became a Buddhist. You know what I mean? Started eating healthy, so forth and so on. And you're right, that goes back to the crab pot effect, which he was talking about. People don't want you to evolve. They're so mad that you evolve all they can do is hold on to the things you did before you evolved.
Right.
You know what I mean? To try to stop other people from appreciating your evolution.
And the most important thing about having a role model is having a person that understands you. When you go to your role model and say, look, I'm all out of answers, I don't have nowhere to turn but you. What can you do for me?
Right.
Now that message that role model gives you helps you along the way, and you go to spread the same message that he or she is giving you to the next person. Well, you know, they used to sell drugs back in the day.
Right.
Disregarded the whole situation of how I turned my life around.
Right.
I don't use drugs anymore.
Right.
I'm doing this and doing that because this brother gave me a jewel.
Yep.
And all you can say is what he did.
That's all they can do. And that goes right back to eliminating them out of your circle. Right. You get what I'm saying? Some people you can find out that you need to eliminate them based on what they say about another person.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
What am I next?
Right. What did they say about me when I'm not around? You get what I mean? I used to do things. They probably bringing up my past. You get what I'm saying?
Well, it also says a lot about a person too, because if you have to reach back 20 years ago to get something I did wrong, then that must say something good about that person.
Right.
You're saying you don't have nothing.
You're looking for anything.
Right. 20 years ago.
I gotta skip over his evolution. I gotta go all the way back to when he wasn't involved.
So
and it's like in a I had to say this, keep it 1,000. In the white communities, this man could be on trial for murder, rape, kidnapping, everything. Man, you know he makes $1 million every other day. You know what I'm saying? They just forgot all the charges he did. He's making $1 million. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's a philanthropist. He's all everything. But he's on trial for murder. Here it is. I did something, convicted, did my time, came home, was trying to start over. But man, you know, I don't think he's a good. Oh, he's got a good fit for you.
Yeah, they're not gonna let you. They are not gonna let you.
It is sad, black people.
It is. We got to do better, and that's why we have the Black Body Man Radio Show, so we can have these discussions, educate ourselves, make it a great topic. So, look, in summary, the people you spend the most time with should make you a better person, support you, push you to meet your goals, inspire you, and help you transform. Yes. If they're not doing those things, you might want to eliminate them. So, overall, changing your circle, what do we feel about it? Constructive or destructive?
Constructive. Oh, excuse me.
Constructive.
Mr. Wilson.
Constructive.
Brother Mike, constructive. The lovely Mr. Neves.
Constructive. I think you should check your circle just like you check your car insurance every year. You
all right.
You check that circle every year.
Check that circle. All right, so now that we've agreed that changing your circle is constructive, so let's talk about the people you should have in your circle. So I got, what is it, 5 people?
I think it's 5.
Yeah, I got, actually it's 4. All right, so I got 4 people that you should have in your circle now that you've agreed that your circle needs to change. So the first person is the dreamer. Some dreamers may seem unrealistic or undisciplined, but they can also be insightful visionaries. They think of things that others do not. They help you imagine what if. You will feel life's vitality when you are around them. Dreamers have a strong tendency to be highly creative and make you believe that everything is possible.
Yeah.
So, you need the dreamer.
Definitely.
In your circle.
Absolutely.
Now, circles I've been in, I was the dreamer. I was actually a couple of these, but I definitely was the dreamer.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, but they wouldn't dream with me. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying? Like, I would be imagining things, and they just like, yo, you tripping. Yeah. You can't do that. I seen a video with Jay-Z speaking on that, and Jay-Z was saying that he had those same situations. And he was like, what's going on is these people project their fears onto you. Right. He said, so people said to him, you can't do that. Yeah. And Jay-Z was like, no, you can't do that. Right. He said, I had an uncle. He said, my uncle told me, when I told him I wanted to sell a million records, he was like, my uncle told me I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? He was like, he's straight like, you can't do that. Nephew, you ain't gonna be able to do that. Jay-Z was like, I did that. He was like, I sell a million records in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? But what if I would have listened to my uncle? You know what I mean? And took what he said, that with their background, Marcy Projects, you're not gonna be able to do that. Right. You know what I mean? He was like, and now for me to sell a million records, he's like, I'd be mad if I only sold a million records. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm quadruple platinum. So yeah, the dreamer, you need the dreamer around. Do you guys have dreamers in your circle?
Yes.
Do? Wonderful.
Just in our conversations, You've given life to my whole Glad by Sam aspect.
Okay.
And you've given
Thank you
me
very
those
much.
ideas and things that I wouldn't have never thought of. So yes, having that dream with someone that can think outside for you and give you that push, it really does make a big difference.
I believe in you. Samantha gave me 2 of them today. Nice.
Nice.
You know what I mean? What about you, Miss Janice? Any dreamers?
Yes, I definitely have a dream.
Got a dreamer? What about you, Mr. Woodson?
I'm trying to find it.
Okay. Well, just holler at me. I'll dream with you. I love dreaming.
See, my thing with you is that the dream, it never stops. But when you see a person accomplish a certain dream, you get on the same boat.
Yeah.
So I'm on that boat. So the next dream, then I'm a follow.
All right.
I'm already here right now.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. So number 2 is the driver. The driver brings the dream to reality. They understand the big picture, but they have the talent to break it down into actionable steps. They are result-oriented and are usually decisive, direct, and pragmatic. They may fall to the practical side, excuse me, but they know how to get things done, and they thrive on the thrill of the challenge. Okay, so I've been that dude too. You get what I mean?
Honestly, do.
You know what I mean? Like, I must just be out there somewhere, you know?
No, but that's not a bad thing. Like, I feel like these are all qualities that you have.
Thank you.
And to each and every one of us, like you represent that person that has that drive and wants them to succeed. So I feel like you're just talking about yourself right now.
Hey, you know, I think I was that kid, right? Remember when you was a kid and you're in 1st grade or whatever, and they're like, you can be anything you want when you grow up.
Right.
They told me that shit. I was like, for real? Really? I'm keeping that. You know what I mean? So like, I still believe in that. You can be whatever you want. Drivers, Yogi, familiar with drivers?
Yeah. I'm gonna get a shout out to my cousin, man.
Okay, nice.
My cousin Neil. Give Neil Wells a shout out. He came from the Brick Project. Came from New Jersey, man. He went to the Army. You know what I mean? Got his stuff together. You know what I mean? He said, I'm gonna go ahead and try truck driving.
Okay.
Did it, nailed it. Now he's driving trucks, man. So, salute to my
shout
cousin
out.
Neil.
Salute. Any drivers, Miss Janice?
Yes. I just, hate to brag, but I mean, probably everything you about to read on that list and whatever you went over so far, like my man is all that.
Oh, okay.
Ooh!
Shout out to her, man. You know what I mean, brother? I'm about to ask his name in a little bit. I need to hang with this dude.
She put it out there.
All right. So we got the dreamer. We got the driver. Number 3, the motivator. This is your voice of inspiration. They keep pushing you to meet your goals. They help you understand that goals are met more frequently when they are tied to a higher purpose. This person, I think this is a misspelling. This person seduces you with their energy and enthusiasm. So this is the motivator. This is the person this is your cheerleader. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it can be your parents, sometimes it can be a friend, sometimes it can be your child. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes your kid will look at you and say, Mommy, you can do it. And you thinking, you know what? At 6 years old, if she feels I can do it, you know what I mean? Maybe I really can do this, you know?
She got to drive at 6.
Right, you know? So the motivator, are we familiar with motivators?
Yeah.
Nice. Motivators, I think, are very, very necessary. I think they're hard to find, you know what I mean? Because, like I always say, like, if you, as a full-grown adult, right, you tell family and friends, like, I'm going to go back to school, right? I'm going to go back to school, I'm going to get my master's degree. They kind of are with you, right? Like, oh, wonderful, do that. You know what I mean? You should definitely do that. But when that day comes and you say, I'm graduating next week with a master's, it's like they ain't got that same feeling no more. You get what I'm saying? It's almost like they didn't think he was going to do it.
In their mind, I heard it before.
Right,
he ain't going to do it.
You know what I'm saying? So now they're not coming to the graduation. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, but you were so, like, pumping me when I first said it. And I had someone explain to me before, they was like, yeah, a lot of times when people do that, it's easy for them to pump you on because they don't really believe you're going to accomplish it. And that's why when you accomplish it, they got this whole totally different vibe. Like, oh, all right, well, that's what's up. Wow. You know, that's good.
Come to the bar tonight.
Right. You know, like, we're at the bar tonight. Right. You know, so That's interesting. The motivator is definitely somebody you need. But I think they're a little hard to find, though.
They are.
Like, I haven't been around, like, a lot of people, say, just normal family, friends, relatives, whatever, that were, like, motivators.
I feel like a lot of the time.
It was more like you get support just by basic them saying, okay, yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, no motivation. Because
a lot of the time people tell you every reason why you can't do something or why you shouldn't do something.
Right.
You never find somebody that gives you every reason why you should do it, but why you can't. Right. And
Absolutely.
that's definitely hard to find.
Yeah, that motivator is hard to find. I think times that I've come across it often was someone who wasn't family or friends. It might have been a coworker.
Well, I think your biggest supporters, the ones that know nothing about you,
Right.
are
That's no
not in
judgment.
your everyday life.
Right.
They support you more than your family and your friends do.
That one person at the job who you told them, and then 4 months later they're like, hey, how's school going? You know, like, it's going pretty good. Hey, that's good. Hang in there. You can get it done. You know, I see you working it out. Like, you don't really get that from family and friends.
I had a childhood friend of mine. I talked to him about a couple of weeks ago, and he was trying to he drives trucks, sheep, for example. And he said, I heard you out there doing such and such. He said, man, I'm very proud of you, man. He said, if anybody really didn't tell you, I'm proud of you, man, because you know, you're doing different things. He's not saying that I'm doing something that is broad and everybody sees it. It's the small things that people are motivated will tell you that, like, you know, I'm proud of you. And it's not something great where everybody sees it. It's that small conversation that makes you push.
It's that one person that notices.
Right.
And that's the blessing in
feel
it.
good. Gives you a feel good, right, when you find out somebody.
I don't like the motivator like
watch
other ones
without you knowing it. I mean, some of the most unsupportive and hateful people be watching your every move, and then they'll go mock it, go imitate it.
That's the motivator I don't like.
But never once credited you for inspiring them. You know what I mean? Never hit the like button when you put up, hey, just finished my first semester, you know, or whatever you're doing. You know, just got my first shirt in the store. Right? You know, now I want to say this, shout out to Harford County, because when I put that up, that we finally got the BBD shirts inside of the stores, it was a lot of support that came with that. So big up to Harford County for that. I appreciate it. That was surprising. It was more support than what I had normally expected. That was a pleasant surprise.
For the sisters in there, now I'm not being disrespectful. Ladies, don't take it. All that hair y'all buying in there, I know y'all see them t-shirts. Come on now, I know y'all see it. I listen, no, I wasn't being rude. Now you want about all that horse hair in there, excuse me again. I'm sorry.
Horse hair no more. Anyway.
Sorry, ladies.
You know, and look,
Yogi, we don't
I'll be the devil's advocate here, right? Because you're definitely right. But I will say this, so far with Black by Demand, I think we do receive more support from sisters than we do brothers. And I think that is strictly because it's a brother that's heading it up. You get what I'm saying? And unfortunately, a lot of black men see each other as competition. So it's very difficult for them to support when they know I'm the driving force behind it, whereas women look at it more like, I'm proud of what that black man doing. You get what I'm saying?
Well, let me help you. Tommy Hilfiger's racist.
Thank you.
Polo's racist. Timberland's racist. All these different things are racist, and they show you in subliminal message with the horse. They show you with the trees. So if that's what you want to do and support all them people. Now I didn't got a pair of these J's on with the emblems. I got certain things, but I'm going to limit myself from paying all that money for these certain individual people who don't care nothing about
you. Black by Demand, we care about you, and we care about, you know, black people in general. We try to bring forth something that is beneficial to us through conversation, so forth and so on. And stay tuned. We're going to be coming out with something in support of our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. So we got a little surprise for them coming. And we're going to try to participate in bringing relief to the island of Puerto Rico by donating to donatepuertorico.com. So we'll be making that announcement soon too. So Boricua, we are coming your way. Let's get it out there. All right, number 4 is the Devil's Advocate. I think we talked about this one in the hallway, right? All right, so the Devil's Advocate. This person is the theocritical, no, I'm saying that wrong, the critical thinker. They ask questions, and lots of them. They see problems before they arise. This person is crucial because you need their perspective. They won't sugarcoat it. They are blunt, but they try to look out for you. You may not always like what they have to say, but they are often the voice of reason. Now, of course, we all know I've been that, right? But you know, when I hear this, it always reminds me years back when I seen Oprah, right? She was talking about Gail, you know, and,
her girlfriend.
Her girlfriend, right? She was saying that Gail is her truest friend. She was like, because Gail won't sugarcoat nothing for me. She said, you know, I'm Oprah Winfrey. She's like, but if Gail feels that my head's getting a little big and I'm walking around like I'm Oprah Winfrey, she's like, Gail, bring me down a couple notches. She said, Gail is not afraid to step on my toes out of the love she has for me, knowing I'm going to be upset with her.
That's you.
Right? You understand what I mean? She was like, but it's for the bigger picture. So I know I've been that person, you know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that, you know, we don't have that understanding. And I was impressed when Oprah said that. Oprah was like, if you have a person in your life that isn't afraid to step on your toes to tell you the truth, she said, you may not like it, but I'm telling you, that's the best friend you have in your life.
Shout out to Rad. Shout out to Rad. That's one of my.
Everybody else is just going to sugarcoat.
That's one of my friends that I, like I said, like for 20 years. We had to say about the 20 years, but he's been a genuine friend for 20 years, and he's the only person, brother. He can say that he'll curse me every which way he was sideways, but I know he's doing it genuinely. Right. It's no malice behind. It's no disrespect. You know, he just hit me the other day. So
nice.
Shout out to Rad.
Shout out to Rad. Dwayne Rad. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the 5 type of friends you need to have in your circle right now. The dreamer, the driver, the motivator, and the devil's advocate. And that is going to wrap it up. So in summary, be persistent with surrounding yourself with people who bring out the best in you. A dreamer will help you dream it. A driver will help you turn dreams into reality. A motivator will inspire you every step of the way. A supporter will never leave your side through good and bad times. And a devil's advocate will cut through the bullshit and tell you the real deal. There it is.
Get you in front of Mike and have a big
All right, on behalf of the BBD team, we appreciate you tuning in with us. We'll be back next week. On behalf of the team, my co-host, the lovely Miss Janice, Mr. Derek Wilson, and Samantha Glanby-Sam, I'm your boy, Brother Mike. I'll catch you on the flip side. It's the black side, baby. Peace.
Adios.
I wanted to talk to you about something. Oh, wait, hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So anyway.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait. Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like